What are we doing today, Lisa?
We are rebuilding our water pump. Doesn't that sound impressive?
It does sound impressive.
Welcome aboard WindGypsy. We're glad to have you along. This is Lisa. I'm Richard, and this is Ginger, our dog.
So we managed to remove the water pump, and we had bought a replacement, but the replacement arrived damaged. And the replacement had the intake and outtakes were solder on, and I couldn't find any solder on hose barbs that were the right size. And the hose barbs that were on it were obviously not the right size for the hose, and so the previous owner put a little clear plastic hose over the hose barb and then put the water hose over that.
Ingenuity. World War II was won with tanks held together by baling wire. Isn't that what they said?
And chewing gum.
And chewing gum, yeah. Feels a lot more confidence-inspiring taking those off when it's not hanging on the back of the engine, and if we drop them, they go down in the bilge.
Into the bilge.
It's like, yeah, just take them off. There you go. Yeah.
And these are replacement screws, and they are stainless, and there's a lot of tough gel on them.
Still water in it.
That's surprising.
It is surprising.
So we had previously tried replacing the gasket and replacing the impeller to no avail. Someone I think they used pliers that were a little bigger than this. Okay. Copper washer, little brass screw, little copper washer that holds the cam in place.
Finely machined Swedish parts.
Oh, and it's important to know which direction you want the arms of your impeller to go. We're going to put the same impeller back in because this is a relatively new impeller, and the arms go this way. This is the water intake, and this is the water outflow, and that's the direction the arms go. So there's a little circlip here. Take that out.
See the fancy tool?
Never knew I'd need all these weird tools. There's a special drift that you use to drive out the shaft here. We don't have that tool. So we are using a 13 millimeter socket.
Before I put this online and a video and everything else, I'm going to do a special and send it to your dad. Use the tools you got.
Once I got it as far as I could with the socket, I have this little grinding thing
We're not using the grinding parts on the fine gear.
We're just using the flat surface. And amazingly, it happened to be the absolute perfect size.
And Lisa gets really nervous whenever I try to hammer things. And
but oh yeah, you can see the
worn seal.
yeah. Oh, sorry. So, and this is super scorched. So
Let's see what a new one looks like.
we'll replace that.
That's the new one. That's the old one. I'll wipe off the dirt pits.
And the water stays on this side, and the oil stays on this side, and there's a seal on this side to keep the water in, seal on this side to keep the oil in. And we were leaking water, not oil, so the problem was the water side seal, the front seal here. And as you can see, the little ring inside there just came out, and we have one to replace that because I think that was really worn. All these seals, spring seals, because this is actually a little tiny spring that is in that lip of the seal, and it was bent, and when I pulled it, piece snapped off. So it's definitely the seal that is bad, and I'm just gonna pull it out.
That looks the same as the other one.
Oh, you can see it is uneven and worn flat on the inside, whereas that's like sticking up.
Excellent.
And we're gonna push the other one out. And there's also a little plastic spacer in between, and that little plastic spacer might be worn. I don't know. I'm going to compare it to the other one. But that was, I think, pointy side to the oil. Oh yeah, look at that. Huge difference.
And since our new one doesn't have these threaded, we are going to take the guts from the new one and put them in the old
Or we're
housing.
going to take the brand new rebuild kit and put it in our old water pump housing, because I don't think there's anything wrong with the housing itself. Here is the volvopenta rebuild kit. Yay! And it has a new spindle that's not scorched. And that looks exactly the same. Just put it back together the same way we took it apart, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
It also said to coat everything lightly with a little bit of engine oil or heavy duty marine grease. Let me go get some.
You know you're doing good boat repairs when you get your fingers in grease.
spindle?
Right here. It's not actually Pringles grease, but we keep it in a Pringles box. And if I'm not mistaken, this can of Pringles came from our friend Deanna's kids.
That's funny.
Deanna came over for a dress fitting, and I took her kids out back and taught them how to touch an electrified fence. It was a very dry couple of days, and it was a soft ground, so it was only just like a little. It wasn't like a big shock like when Lisa got her face jammed in it under her glasses. So I was hoping to show you what this is like, but we're just getting Lisa's knuckles in a dark hole, really.
So put in the rear seal, put in the little plastic spacer, and that goes with the arms down towards the oil side. I can't remember which was the good one. Oh, this is the bad one. I put the bad one down here. Okay, so we think these three are all good. So, spacer, and then the water side seal with the groove up. The oil side seal with the groove down, pointing towards the oil.
Light came on.
And now we are going to drive the well, I don't know if we're going to be able to do that.
Why not?
Like a flange on here. No, it's no problem. And okay, this is where we use our
13 millimeter drift.
drift. 13 millimeters.
Tapping responsibility, children. look on the other side? Does it look right?
We have to get this circlip in there.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's a indication.
That looks like that is far enough. It needs to go down just a little more.
I see you're hitting it with much more abandon now.
Not that much more abandon.
You just have a better idea how much pressure is required.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that definitely fits. All right.
See? Really is marine grease. Shit. Marine grease. I gotta put my hand over the label because nobody's giving us any money for promoting STP. Although I'll take any money from STP to promote STP marine grease. What was that?
You're such a fucking man.
And that's what keeps our engine from overheating. What you doing?
I'm just using 1,000 grit here. It's probably more like 2,000 grit because we've used it so much to sand off a little of the corrosion on the cam here. Alright, so now that we put a little marine grease on everything, we're going to put the cam back in. And use the little tiny brass screw with the little tiny copper washer on it.
Swedish engineering. Getting dark enough now, the light's throwing a shadow. See all the other boats in the harbor have their anchor lights on, and our friends over here at Island Home have lights around their cockpit. This boat has lights going around its rail like we do, just because I always think it's a good idea, and obviously other people think it's a good idea for having lights at water height, so people going through the anchorage can actually see you who aren't looking 50 feet up in the air.
Okay, and we got our impeller. A little more grease, please. Want the little arms to spin in the same direction as they were before. And press that onto the spin ball. And now, put the cover on.
And the gasket.
And the gasket. And we've used up like 100 gaskets trying to solve this problem. So I'm going to try to reuse this one.
There's two styles of water pump that Volvo make that have the same impeller. So when you order the impeller, it comes with new gaskets, but it has both of the gaskets.
Yeah, both.
So you have to make sure you have the one that actually fits your water pump, because if you try to use the wrong one, well, it doesn't fit. And yeah, it'll leak, but you know, none of your holes will line up. You'll figure it out pretty quickly. Or
tough gelled these already. I guess we could put more on, but I mean, it looks like there's a lot of tough gel on them. What do you think? Should we put more on?
can you have too much tough gel?
No. All right.
And what does tough gel do?
Tough gel prevents galvanic corrosion between unlike metals. Or two metals of different galvanic potential. And here we have stainless steel screws in a bronze water pump. Is very important not to over tighten these, especially because these screws are stainless steel, which is much harder than the marine bronze that makes up the body of the water pump and the cover. So finger tight, and then a little baby screwdriver.
Notice how Lisa is still avoiding me doing any work on this. I don't know why. You break one copper pipe in the house and you get a reputation. Okay, I've probably broken more than one thing.
Okay.
All right.
And tomorrow we can install it and test it. We have been a little nervous because we haven't had a water pump for 2 days now after we took this off. We realized if we had to move the boat in an emergency, we couldn't do it. But we are in No Name Harbor in Biscayne Bay, and it's very protected here, and hopefully we wouldn't have to move the boat in an emergency.
Join us tomorrow, sports fans, when we try to we will install it on the engine. Will it work? Will it blow up? Will Lisa tell me I should delete this but not put it on the video?
Stay tuned and find out tomorrow. And thank you, Ghost Light, for the Tough Gel. We are still using it. So this appears to be an NPT threaded brass fitting, and it measures about 5/8 of an inch in outer diameter at the thick end, and that's about 16.5 millimeters. Anyway, that doesn't correspond to anything I could find on the market. And obviously the barb end is a little too small to fit in a 5/8 inch water hose, which I think is why the previous owner put this clear plastic hose over it. So now you get a tight fit with the 5/8 inch water hose. And the new replacement water pump that we got that has a solder-on fitting here rather than the threaded fitting. Again, I can't find any soldered hose barbs that would fit it. So we're using the old one and just replacing what we had from the previous owner. I got a little bit of Teflon tape here.
So you can clearly see the threads. I love this camera. Ignore the dirty dishes in the sink. We do.
So I think we should take this one off and read. And you can see where the plastic here has become a little bit deformed. I don't know if that is making any restriction of the water flow, but I am just going to trim that off and hope this is not a mistake.
We did have a discussion whether or not that needed to be tapered to get it into the hose, but that's what you have marine grease for, right?
And I have to say, the previous owner did seem to be pretty clever with even figuring out this workaround. Okay. And I'm actually going to take this off because it is easier to get it on there. If this is off. It's easier to get the water pump onto the housing if this is not on there.
Right, so you can get behind that bolt.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is mounted with a bolt with a copper washer followed by a steel washer, and these bolts are CH588, and then it goes on the little retaining clip in this direction. And we're going to put the first one on.
And that is where the water pump goes. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be able to film Lisa actually putting it on because, well, if you own an S2, you know how much space you have. And if you own any boat, you know how much space you have.
This little plastic cam goes on the part of the shaft that goes into the engine, and these little nubs are down. So it goes that way. Oil side.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
I am going to put a little bit of marine grease here on the oil side and on the little cam here. And little nub sides down. I don't know if it makes a difference, but I'm going to put it back the way it was working. And you're going to have to rotate this in order to get it to line up with the shaft on the engine side. So we built this box to go around the batteries, and I cannot tell you how helpful that has been because it allows you to lay over the batteries to access the engine. Anyway, it was one of the best improvements that we did to the boat. And I think this is going to work better to put this little cam on the engine first. And then try to fit the I don't know.
You might have to twist the spindle itself.
Yeah.
Because the water pump has to go on one way.
I did.
Okay, okay.
The problem is that hose is so unbendable. Let's try it this way. So this is the way it spins normally. Ha! There we go!
Yeah.
So and got the number 10 wrench.
That was a long number 10 wrench because the short one sort of made it
I couldn't get enough.
possible to get any kind of leverage on it to move those bolts that haven't been moved in years. Even with squirting copious amounts of
PB Blaster.
PB Blaster. The miracle from Ohio. Well, you're going over top. I don't think I...
Yeah, I think this is how I was able to get to it before.
Cool.
Except I think I need to...
You need to what?
Okay, let's see if we can get the other one in.
So this is the other thingy, which Some people call a hose barb
NPT hose barb.
because they don't know the technical name other thingy. Because everything on your boat is the other thingy. Great catch-all name. So you got the adjustable wrench?
Yeah, and we're using an adjustable wrench because we don't have a, I think it takes a 16. Okay, so we got the cover plate screwed back on, the new impeller, the new gasket, the water pump is clipped onto the engine, and the hoses are tightened with the hose clamps, and we have opened the seacock. So we're ready down here.
Okay, it's all warmed up. I'm just gonna go turn the key.
Okay.
Ginger's back there, which, oh no, she's turned around now. Good.
And we had a little bit of leaking from the faceplate around one of the screws, and I tightened that up, and that seemed to take care of the problem, and no leaking. And Richard said we had plenty of water coming through, and was spitting fine. So I think we fixed it.
Yay! That's a high five. That's a definite.
Well, it was almost a definite win. I noticed some water coming out of the screw that held the cam in. So I went to tighten it just a little bit. I'd really been very careful trying to under tighten these screws so I didn't break them off. And the screw sheared off. That's okay. We can fix this too. Okay, moment of truth number 2. We have now replaced the little bolt that holds the cam on, and which meant we had to take the impeller face off, take the impeller out, take the cam out.
Ready?
And so we've tightened everything up again, and Richard's going to start it.
We couldn't do this great adventure without the help of John and James Brawley, Hunter Woods, Zach Cupp, and Greg Hall. And thanks to our viewers. It's encouraging to think that these videos might inspire, encourage, entertain, or maybe even just amuse you.